What's going on YouTube? Florida Man Knives here with another quick overview. And this is going to be of the ESEE Avispa in this Knifeworks exclusive orange color. And we'll get right into it. So you're going to have an overall length of 8.5 inches. You're going to have a blade length of 3.5 inches. And then a handle length of exactly 5 inches right here. Show that a little bit more up close so you can see. Your blade thickness, for how big of a knife it is, it's actually relatively thin. It's going to be 0.11 inches. And then your handle thickness is going to be 0.36. It's going to have AUS 8 steel made in Taiwan, and the overall weight on this thing, because it is a stainless steel frame lock, it's going to be pretty hefty at 4.41 ounces. But when you consider how big of a knife it is, it's really not that bad. You know, you would normally expect a knife like this to be well above the 5 ounce range, but because of the scale on this side definitely conserves a lot of weight with that. So this is going to be the BRK Avispa, and you can see right here it's got this really cool image, or at least I think it's really cool, Avispa, and that's going to be Spanish for wasp actually. And this is going to be the big brother of the ESEE Zancudo, which is Spanish for mosquito. Did want the Zancudo for a long time. It's, you know, a good EDC size, but something about the Avispa has just always been really attractive to me. I mean, it's got a little bit different of a handle shape. It looked like it would really fit well in my, you know, extra large size hands, and it does. You can see right there, my fingers really line up in that handle, and then it actually has a little bit of a choil right here. You know, it's not going to be as much of a pronounced choil as something like a Spyderco Paramilitary 2, and this is going to be actually a great comparison for length. But I do really like this. You know, you can get choked up on it really close if you need to, you know, if you really want to do some fine work with it. You know, so that kind of leads me to my one gripe about this knife, and you know, I guess you could say it's a gripe about the PM2 as well, or any knife that's going to have room for a 4-finger choil, and that's going to be the cutting edge. That's going to be 3.26 ounces, and oh, sorry about that, just knocked over my knife stand there. With that, that's going to, you know, definitely make a difference when it comes to your, sorry, got a little fluster there. I'm not going to cut that out. And so anyways, 3.26 inch cutting edge on a 5-inch handle. You know, not the best there, but the big thing on this knife is going to be the price. It's going to be $28.95. Now, they do have a D2 version, which I believe is only like $35, $36. So if you're not a, you know, don't have any color preference, I highly recommend you get that. That's going to be on Amazon, readily available. I will say, I don't know, I think ESEE's actually stopped producing their folding knives, or I really don't know what the deal was. These were really hot about 5 years ago, and yeah, I just don't really see them on a lot of websites anymore. So this one is going to be a Knifeworks exclusive in this orange textured nylon scale. It does look like G10, but it is definitely not. And when you compare it to G10 in the hand, it feels like a, kind of feels like a Grivery, is whatever it reminds me of. But, you know, designed by Mike Perrin and Jeff Randall, made in Taiwan. You know, these dual thumb studs right here definitely work well. But if you are going to get this knife new, I want to give you a warning. It was crazy stiff out of the box. I did not loosen this at all, did not put any oil in it, just have been working with it, and now you can see it just flies right open, really smooth. I mean, you know, you can't close it drop shut like that. It's, not going to have the smoothest action per se. I think it's on washers. Not bad for what you're getting, especially for $28.95. But under $30, can't really beat that. But just did want to give a forewarning there. Lockup is absolutely solid, so that's why I didn't loosen it at all. The strop point stonewash blade right here does show a lot of fingerprints, I've noticed. And then they have this stonewashed stainless steel frame lock to match and pocket clip. Now, you can see I actually don't have this in a tip up pocket clip. That's not how I have it formatted on this one, and there's a couple reasons for that. This is a big complaint of this knife by some people, but I really don't mind tip down on a knife this big. And to be honest with you, I don't carry this knife that often. But two big things. Number one, you can see where they actually have drilled out the holes for the pocket clip. It's actually quite a bit further down on the knife than it is on this side. So definitely would expose more in the pocket, and just for when I carry this, it's just not what I'm looking for. But the biggest reason is actually going to be the tension on this frame lock. You can see right there, it is not touching because it catches on this side of the stainless steel frame lock. But go watch other people's videos, and if you switch it around to this side, it's going to rest on the tension bar itself, and that's going to make it, number one, a lot harder to open, and then number two, a lot harder to close. I mean, I've got, no resistance here. You've got your detent ball there, you can see, but that's definitely something to keep in mind with this knife, with this pocket clip. As I said though, get the D2 model if you can. I'm a big fan of AUS 8, I'm not gonna lie. I've got several knives in AUS 8, it's never let me down. Super easy to sharpen. A lot of my knives that I had when I was younger was an AUS 8, so it's just what I've been used to. I've got no complaints there. It's not a super steel or anything, but again, it's a $29 knife. So it does come in a black coated version as well. And then you can get this in, black handles. They used to have a red. I know that there's still, I think an OD green, definitely a coyote tan or brown. I think they do have a true brown, maybe a light tan as well. But again, the ESEE Avispa. ESEE is a great brand. You'll notice that this knife is really similar to the Ontario Rat. I do not have one of those myself, but the actual people that founded ESEE, if my understanding is correct, they actually were part of Ontario and then left, started their own company, and so I've always liked them. I'm not a big fan of liner locks, but I don't mind frame locks, so that's why I went with this over the Ontario Rat one. But, well, and the fact that I do like the little logo here, I think that's cool. Great knife, definitely recommend it. Add it to your collection if you are a collector, and if you're not, if you're just a user, I still would recommend it, because this, to me, I'm really confident in this knife. This is going to be a harder using knife than some of my others for sure. It's definitely larger, but a lot of grip options will fit a lot of different people's hands. If you got smaller hands, maybe it'll feel a little big for you, but if you got larger hands than mine, I mean, this thing is going to feel great. So definitely recommend it. Great, affordable EDC option, as is the Zancudo. And thanks for watching. Leave a comment actually on, maybe something you'd like to see me do with this knife. Because it is AUS 8, I can resharpen it pretty easy, and it's not that affordable, or not that expensive, excuse me. So, maybe I'd be willing to do something a little bit different with it. Oh, wanted to point out as well this sharpening choil, which is fantastic, a great touch on this knife. As is the black coated hardware. But anyways, a little bit longer than I was originally anticipating. Just a quick overview. Haven't had it too long. I'll probably do a long-term review once I've really butchered the edge on this thing and then resharpen it. I have touched it up a little bit with the strop. It's, as I go against the grain, excuse me, but it definitely is razor sharp still. So thanks for watching.